So you out here winning, huh? Taking no losses, huh? You own all your publishing, huh? All your publishing, huh? You own your publishing, huh? You been getting checks since '94, huh? You been doing your thing on the low, huh? You been doing your thing for a long time, huh? Ain't missing out on no money. You got that money on your mind, huh? They need to drop a dime, huh? If they want 50% of your check, they need to come on time, huh? Nah, man, we talk about publishing today, man. Music publishing, man. What is it? How to own it? And why would you even give it up? You feel me? I'll let your boy, man. Roll that intro. Alright, so welcome back, everybody. Today's episode is going to be about music publishing. Pretty much dealing with the breakdown of what music publishing is, um, why you would even want to take a publishing deal, the different types of publishing deals, and why you would sign away your publishing. So to get started, basically to explain a little bit and give a little bit of background about music publishing. Music publishing is basically, just the money generated from the composition and the music copyright itself. So it's basically broken down into two parts, and that's the writer's share and that's the publisher's share. The writer's share, if you were to write a song by yourself, it would be worth 100%, and the publisher's share would be worth 100% as well. Now, I don't know why we just don't call it 50-50, but for some reason, that's the way it's documented on all the paperwork. On the PRO's website, on even on the a lot of distribution websites. I believe DistroKid is 50-50, but on TuneCore and a lot of different other websites, it's broken down into 200%. So basically, publisher deals a little bit more with the people that actually write the lyrics, the beats, the composition, mostly of the song. And so that would be more so producers and songwriters. Now, if you're somebody that's writing your own songs, then yes, you would be entitled to your own publishing as well, and you would get your writer's share and your publisher's share. Okay, so talk about what actual publishers do. Actual publishers, basically their job is to go out and find ways to kind of make money off the music, and find ways to get the music placed at different places like TV, film, video games, and maybe even on albums, depending on the company and the situation and what their clientele base is. So let's get into a little bit of the different types of publishing deals. Okay, so the first one is going to be what's called an admin deal. An admin deal basically is just kind of like a deal you would take for a publisher to register your music for all different types of copyrights. And basically, they would make sure that your music is properly set up, properly registered and copywritten, and they would basically find and all your revenue, and they would pay it out to you for a percentage of pretty much around 10 to 15% is the going rate. Admin deals usually don't require more than that, but everybody's situation is different. So that's an admin deal. Now the next type would be a co-publishing deal. Co-publishing deals deal with pretty much the publishing side of the actual work, and basically you get to keep 100% of your you get to keep 100% of your writer's share in just about every situation, but you would split a percentage of your publishing share with the publisher. And basically, their incentive to kind of go out and get the music placed and kind of pitch the music to different companies and different entities that would use your music, their incentive for that would be to get a percentage of your publishing. So the standard co-publishing deal would be 50-50, where you would keep 50% of your publishing and the publisher would get 50%, the other 50% of your publishing. Okay, so let's give an example. Okay, so let's say Beyonce has an album coming out, right? Beyonce and Jay-Z, and your publisher you're in a 1 year publishing deal with your publisher, and they own your catalog for that year. So they would take a few songs that you wrote and produced, they would pitch it to Beyonce and Jay-Z, and if they would choose one of those songs, then you would now receive publishing off of the song and all the money generated from that song that Beyonce and Jay-Z chose, recorded, and released. And another example would be, let's say Steven Spielberg or Jordan Peele got a new movie coming out, right? Let's say we're gonna call it. That's my phone dropped. We're gonna call it. I don't know, whatever. They got a new movie coming out, okay? So every movie needs music. Every movie needs to be scored. That's what the music that's in the movie is called film scoring. That would be the sound effects, that would be the strings, the orchestra, and then just straight up songs that you hear throughout the movie. If you were to get a song placed there, then that would generate publishing. That would be a check for your publisher because they would do the work to get it placed, and that would be a check for you because, of course, you wrote the lyrics and the composition, and you created the song. So that's how co-publishing deals would work. Now, with co-publishing deals, typically, they would offer you some form of an advance. So if you take that advance, you have to understand that in order for you to get paid your percentage, you would have to recoup every penny of that advance first. So let's say they give you an advance, you meet with a co-publisher, and they like your catalog, and let's say they purchase 50 songs from you, and they give you a $60,000 check in exchange for those songs. Okay, well, that $60,000 will have to be completely recouped before you can see any percentage of your publishing on the work that got placed. So taking advances is kind of a risky deal because you, as a creator and a composer and as a person that's writing lyrics, you really, a lot of times, you don't have a say-so at all on when the music actually comes out. So you could be stuck in a publishing deal you could have signed a publishing deal for a year and be stuck in it for 4 to 5 years simply because you don't have any control over when the music comes out. If y'all's agreement was, for you to get 60 songs placed in a year, and only 10 or 20 of them are coming out from a label, and then only 5 of them got placed in the video game, and only 2 got placed in the movie that year, well, here you are another year, you still have a quota to meet, and the year after that, and the year after that. So, trying to live 2 to 3 years, maybe 4 or 5 years off of $60,000 is impossible. It's in some places trying to even live 4 to 5 months off of $60,000 is impossible. So, you kind of have to weigh your options. You have to weigh your options, and in most cases, you don't want to give up your publishing at all. In a lot of cases, I can't speak for everybody, but I know, as musicians, sometimes we're down and out, and we're just trying to get our foot in the game any way we can, and we need all the money we can get. But in some cases, it's probably best to just hold out and not really take that money. So that's just an example of a co-publishing deal. Let's move on to the next type. The next type would be a sub-publishing deal. Now, sub-publishing deals typically deal with, going out to going out to collect international revenue generated off your work and your composition. So, whereas admin deals, also they kind of do the same. A lot of times admin deals collect, foreign and international royalties as well. Sub-publishing deals do the same. So, just to give some examples of different publishing companies, record labels, they typically deal with the actual master tracks, the music, the artist, marketing, the songs and the brand and everything all together. But with publishers, they typically just deal with the music. They typically just deal with the actual work, the actual music. Some examples of different publishing companies. The major ones are like Sony ATV. I know a lot of y'all might be familiar with that because Michael Jackson used to own half of it. EMI was another one, even though it got bought out by Sony ATV. And Warner Chappell, which is, obviously owned by, and started by Warner Brothers. So those are some examples of major publishers, and they own a large percentage of the catalogs and songs that are coming out right now and have for years, decades at this point. So those are a few different publishing companies. Before we move on, I just want to kind of talk a little bit about reasons that you may start a publishing company yourself. Really quick, a lot of times it may be dealing with kind of separating taxes. That could be a reason you might want to start a publishing company yourself. Maybe separating money from your writer's share for whatever reason. But technically, you really don't have to start a publishing company. I know when you sign up for a lot of the performance rights organizations like BMI and ASCAP, they ask you if you have a publisher. And a lot of people probably don't know what that means, but that's just their way of asking you, do you want to separate your publisher share from your writing share? You don't have to do it. If you don't have a publisher, then the money will simply come to you. You still owe the publisher share along with the writer's share. Okay, so that's pretty much it. I mean, if you were to, kind of start a publishing company and you don't really have plans to license music and shop music, on a mass level or just a full catalog, then, you may be kind of hurting yourself because, that's a whole nother entity. That's a whole nother LLC you have to start. That's a whole nother set of EIN numbers you'll be using. That's a whole nother set of taxes that you don't even have to, kind of get taxed on off the revenue and royalties being generated from the writer's share. So, I mean, I hope that was helpful for y'all, man. If y'all got any comments, any other questions about publishing, please drop it below. I will do another video in the future on publishing, and I'll get more in depth with starting publishing companies. But this was just a basic overview. I didn't want this video to be too long. But definitely, man, if I missed anything, please put it in the comments below. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you can get the notifications anytime we upload. And the next video will be on mastering. Everybody kind of outvoted mastering for publishing. So I did this one first, but definitely I will do the next video on mastering, man. This is your boy D Mason, man. Holla at your boy, man. Once again, here we are.